Hi, and welcome to episode 2 of Fret Tips in 2020. Now this time we'll be exploring the joys of delay pedals, and more importantly, using one without a tap tempo function. You can use delay in several different ways, for ambience, as a rhythmical device, or for special pitch shifting effects. This lesson will focus on the ambience, the spatial aspect. Many of my guitar colleagues, especially those who haven't recorded much, have a lot of problems setting up a delay pedal without tap tempo. And I've heard many excuses after gigs like, yeah, I didn't set up the delay properly, or I didn't really feel that delay this time, or simply the timing was off on the delay. So, what can you do to get the most out of your non-tap delay pedal, and what are some of the most common uses of it as an ambient effect? First, get the feel for that beat per minute. I'll be using an MXR Carbon Copy Bright. I love this one as the repeats are a bit brighter than the standard carbon copy, and the Bucket Brigade circuitry gives the repeats that musical chirpy filtering. The first and most useful thing you can do with a non-tap delay pedal is to calibrate the delay time knob. Get a tap tempo metronome, I'm using a mobile phone app, and set the repeat feedback to give you 8 to 10 repeats. Play a note and tap on the metronome to see the beats per minute. So first we have a single repeat, and then we're gonna raise the regeneration or feedback level to 8 to 10 repeats. A bit more. Okay, so this is super fast. I like to find 3 basic values, 75, 90, and 120 beats per minute, and mark them on the pedal. Those are my starting points for finer tuning to the BPM of the song. Now we're gonna go for the 75 beats per minute. Let's slow it down. One more time. That's 78. Slow it down just a bit more. $75. That's it. And then we're gonna go to 90. So here I like to mark the pedal here with highlighter. Put a stick-on gem on it. Let's speed that up. See, turn the regeneration a bit more so I get 10 repeats or plus. Even more. Yep, that's 90. And then we have 120 beats per minute, which is going to be a lot faster. Just a tad lower. And that's my 120. Personally, I like to turn the beat division on the metronome to triplet notes, calibrate to the song BPM, and set the feedback to 2 or 3 repeats for soloing. So let's check that one out with 120 beats per minute. 120, mix, up, 1, 2, 3 repeats. That's too many. Up the mix. That's for soloing. It's great. You can engage the modulation, or even more spatial. So, here comes the crux of the problem. How to set the delay so that it doesn't overflow the tone. The most important thing here is knowing how fast your chord changes are and tailor your mix and repeats according to that. You don't want spillover from one chord to another with unwanted dissonant notes ringing out in the delay trail, unless you want deliberate ambient noise, but that's a whole different topic. Invest time in working with the feedback and mix levels, and your busy sound will quickly clear up. Another great staple is the slapback, and this is a great classic sound that many guitarists set up by ear with tons of trial and error. many professional books citing vague advice. To get a spot-on slapback tone, synced with your song BPM, set your delay time with the calibration method I've shown you at the beginning, and set the feedback to 4, 6, maybe even 8 repeats, and start the metronome, fine-tune it so the repeats fall on the 16th notes, and then lower the feedback to a single repeat, and boom, you're back in the 50s. Up the mix, up the regeneration. Start the metronome. Go to triplets. So yeah, triplets, sextuplets. Another cool trick is emulating a spring reverb with its fast echoing repeats. Set the feedback to 3 to 6 repeats, get the mix to about 25%, and set the delay time so the repeats form something similar to a sextuplet in the beat. Simply increase the feedback to lengthen the reverb tail, but it will get noticeably unreverb-like beyond a certain point, diving into dub territory. And watch out for runaway oscillation. Triplets. Lower the mix. It's a bit less. Up the regeneration a bit. You can up the regeneration just a bit to add more tail. That's a nice. Yep. Spring reverb simulation right there. So, there you have it. A sound for soloing, a slapback, a spring reverb, and even a bit of dub. That's all for part 1. Be sure to tune in for part 2 when we get into tap tempo and the spatial side of delay. Hit those subscribe and like buttons, and see you next time on Fret Tips. Fret Tips. Fret Tips.